Hey, I'm Jessica with Electra Lane, and I just finished up a masterclass with Charlotte Tilbury. It was actually her niece Sophia and an insanely amazing makeup artist named Kalechi. They talked through basically the holiday collection, but we did get insight into their holiday campaign with Jordan Dunn and Phoebe. I can't pronounce her last name, but the chick from Bridgerton. This is kind of the basic look, so I'm going to share with you how I got it and all the little tips and tricks I learned along the way. So first of all, I'm extraordinarily uncomfortable in this lip. I think it highlights a lot of things on my face that I don't love, and it's just a very strong lip, which is not something I usually do. So do what works for you when it comes to makeup, always. But I do love kind of the glowy aspect of this. This was a masterclass, yes, but it was a sales pitch, always, you know. You can't just give away things for free anymore. It's not good business. So I plopped everything that I used into this bag, and I'll pull it out and kind of talk you through what I did, because that's kind of what they did. And I was just doing my makeup as they were sort of describing it, but I did learn a few like fun tips and tricks along the way. Of course, as always, as anyone will tell you, you have to prep your skin. So I have Charlotte Tilbury's Goddess Clay Skin Mask. I did that, and then my normal skincare routine before I started my makeup. As a primer, I used her Magic Cream. I had this sample from a card, so I just pulled this off and used this to prep my face. And when you're using some of her especially more pigmented products, a primer is fantastic. Now, if you don't want to use this and spend $100+ on a tub of primer, which I do not, it is an excellent moisturizer. If it's going to be your moisturizer and it can double as both, fine. But if you're going to do an extra layer, which I like to do on my dry skin, a really good dupe is this Ombre Elise. I'll have everything listed on my Like to Know It too that I'm talking about here. Because I don't have, obviously, her entire holiday collection. I had to definitely sub in quite a few things. So this is a really good dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream in terms of moisturizer. If you want that sort of really thick, dewy moisture, this is a good way to go. And then they said they used, on the models, they used the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Face, Beautiful Glow foundation. I'm not sure. It's in a tube, kind of like my It Cosmetics CC cream. But, you know, everything that Charlotte does is magical and flawless and obsessed, and it's the best ever, right? So we'll see when it comes out. But all I did is I subbed her Wonder Glow and the Airbrush Flawless foundation. I just mixed a drop of this into like the tiniest drop of this. This stuff will cover tattoos. It is so thick. It is absolutely gorgeous for like long days in the sun. So if you're a bride, invest in this for all of your parties, your wedding, your honeymoon. Insist that your makeup artist use this. It is just absolutely sensational. You have to make sure you get the right color. But for like every day, even for this, I mean, I feel like this is pretty full coverage. I still mixed it with half of this, because it's thick. So that's the foundation. And then for the concealer, I use the Magic Away liquid concealer. She calls this Spanx for your under eyes. It's somewhat full coverage. It's a gorgeous concealer. I just really hate the delivery method, because it's the sponge that gets really gross and gunky, and then I can never get this lid back on, and you really don't get that much product. So what I wish she would do, if anyone's listening, this is the travel version of her Hollywood Flawless filter. I wish she would put this in here, and then we would use this as the applicator for the concealer, and I would be thrilled. So after she used all of the foundation, then they went in with these powders, and they went on and on to say that if they leave the house and they forget this powder, they have to go back home and get it. And every celebrity they do on the red carpet, and they listed all of them because they do a lot of celebrities for red carpet makeup and for editorial, all sorts of things, they have to have this powder. I have the number 7 from Target that's supposed to be like exactly like this. It's not. It's patchy. This is, again, unmatched. Kind of like the Magic Cream. I haven't found anything that replicates this in any way. And I don't use them all over my face. What I'll do is I will use 2 shades, because why not? At the very end of my makeup, I use them as setting powders. This is just kind of on my nose in the center of my forehead. And I will use this shade, the lighter shade, just on this area right here. throwing that out there. What they did for this look is they used whatever their shade was all over their entire face to set the makeup. I think, because again, they didn't really show us this part. They were kind of talking us through it, which is all good. And then no blush, which I'm a huge fan of, but I felt like there would always be blush. They went in with the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer. I have shade 3 and I applied it very, very lightly. I wish I had gone in with shade 2 and like really applied it, because once I got the other stuff on top, I didn't know what they would be doing, but once I got the other stuff on top, it kind of broke up. So a bronzer next is gorgeous to give you that nice warmth and structure, which I think really helps when you're doing a bold lip. Finally, they went with the brows. They used she has several new brow products. They used one of the pens and then her eyebrow gel. I just used my regular brown eyeshadow and the Jason Wu brow gel. I know hers is amazing. It's really amazing. But this is one of those things where if brows are super important for you, maybe splurge. So this is good enough for me. So pick and choose where you spend your dollars. Okay, so Phoebe and Jordan did different eye looks. Jordan did what I typically do, when you guys see me do a million times, dark around the eye, a little bit lighter coming from the inner corner, and then a kind of a glittery pop shade in the center. So I went with Phoebe's eye look, and they used Charlotte's palette of pearls, which is her holiday like fancy kit. And this was last year's kit. It comes with a pretty design on it, and it's limited edition. So this is last year's palette of pops. Palette of pearls is more metallic. The pops are more glittery. So what I did is I just grabbed my Hourglass. It was this absolute strobe light, ambient strobe lighting kit. I don't know. This was last year's. Unfortunately, I don't think they make it anymore. But you can get any of these shades in the palette of pearls palette. You can get these individually from Hourglass. I just used, she used like a rose gold champagne all over the eye, and then kind of went over the lid with a little bit darker shade, and then in the corner and in the center of the eye with a brighter shade. And then I just went ahead and took this gold shade right here and popped that right in the center of the eye. Not the same, but you know, that's the great thing about makeup, is you can take whatever someone's doing and make it work for you. They also use Charlotte's little travel brush kit, which I have. I like the brushes a lot, but mainly the only two they really used were this kind of buffing brush and the smudging brush. These you can get in, you know, from anybody, and they're going to do a great job. So no eyeliner in this look, which is devastating for me. That's another reason I don't love this. I keep looking at myself in the monitor and I'm like, why do I look kind of sick? Since I don't have any eyeliner on, I think it's super essential. But the reason they didn't is because they were pushing their Pillow Talk push-up lashes. Hold, please. Okay, I use the Legendary Lashes too. Big fan of this mascara. I've tried the Pillow Talk push-up lashes, and unfortunately for me, I had kind of a reaction to it. I have pretty sensitive eyes, but what they wanted to do was they were calling the the push and comb method or something. I will write all this down in my blog post. I took notes. But there's like a little trough, a little well here of where the mascara is, and then there's little comby edges right there on the side. So what they wanted you to do was to push the trough against the base of your lashes like a tight line, and then flip it and use the comb side to comb through the lashes. And that's fantastic if it works for you. It's pretty cool innovation. I have just found that literally any mascara that has a gimmicky brush does not work for me. So I stuck with this guy. Next, they move on to lipstick. She has a whole new range of red lipsticks. I'm not a red lipstick girl, as I've said multiple times before. So this is a very old lipstick. They make this shade, but they don't make it in this name anymore. It's called So Marilyn. But for Jordan, they used a red lip liner and just used that to fill in, and that was it. For Phoebe, they used the red lip liner and then topped it with a matte red lipstick. I used a nude lip liner and then just topped it with a red. Fun tip, you don't have to get lip liners for every single lip color you own. You absolutely can. But if you want, get a lip liner that is very close to your natural lip shade, and then you're good to go with no matter what lipstick you use. So that's one of my fun tips. And then finally, actually there's 2 more steps. They went in with the glow. That's where all of this shininess is coming from, which I'm a huge fan of, especially if your face suits this makeup. This is just so beautiful. But Hollywood Flaws Filter, of course, my #1 favorite makeup product of all time, because you can do so much with it. This huge bottle, I actually prefer the smaller bottles. This huge bottle lasts forever and a day. But they use this on Jordan and Phoebe both to highlight the high points of the face. So kind of in the cheeks, down the nose. I did a little on the Cupid's bow, wherever you want to highlight. But then with Phoebe, they went back in with the light ones. Now, these apparently went viral on TikTok. They sold out again with the sponge tips. Look how gross that is. And I wipe this down all the time, but it doesn't matter because it gets on the inside, and then when you put the lid on it, it's a mess. But this is an insanely bright, as you can see, glowy highlighter, and they applied this in the C shape, which is very on trend right now, right? You see this shine right here. So you put the product here, around here, and up here, tap it in with the finger. It's going to give you a really beautiful glow, especially when you're kind of turned this way, and it's gorgeous. You want to make sure to keep everything out of the center, because that can make you look shiny, which everyone tries to avoid for some reason. Light me up like a disco ball, but if you want that sort of really bright glow, you have to kind of highlight just that area. So they finished off with the setting spray, which is gorgeous. It does last for a really long time, and I just have my trusty all-nighter from Urban Decay on hand, so that's what I used. But that's the entire look. So all in all, I mean, you just slap on your foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, brows. Go in with some metallic on your lid, mascara. Don't even worry about eyeliner. Do a bold lip, and then highlight. It's a very simple, straightforward look that I think will really carry you through the holiday season if that's something you're interested in. So I will put more like step-by-step details and actual verbiage and actual products on my blog, as well as, which will be, at electralane.com, as well as every single one of these items I'll list on my like to know it, so you can shop them if you want. But I always love getting free makeup education. So whether it's from me or whether it's from somebody, you can sign up for a masterclass. You will always learn. You'll always take away at least one little thing that you might not have known, even if it's a different way to maybe hold your brush or apply something or whatever. I saw one thing I'll just share with you to maybe tempt you to go check out the blog is I spend a lot of time doing people's makeup. And as time goes on and I work with folks who want quick and easy, good makeup is not quick or easy. It takes time and it takes a lot of practice. And that's why makeup artists are so expensive, frankly. And that's why people are so loyal to their makeup artists, because you can really do a lot of damage if you mess it up. But you can also really get a gorgeous transformation. And it's great to work with a makeup artist who knows you and knows your face and knows, you get shiny after about 2 hours, so they need to layer products in a certain way. That's why you pay so much for makeup artists and for makeup artist expertise. So anyway, I hope you check out the blog, shop the post at Like to Know It, and thank you so much for joining me.